Hello and welcome to Mind, Mood and Food podcast with me, Margaret Bell, anti-diet powered coach and gut health expert, and my partner in crime, Adele Derbyshire.
Hello, I am a yoga teacher and creator of Find Your Inner Sparkle, which is a toolbox, 50 ways to help you to look and feel better from the inside out.
Hello everyone. Today's subject is laughter and a sense of humour. Ah ha ha ha. Oh, that was so corny.
I know. I feel like under pressure because the subject title is going to be like laughter and is laughter the best medicine. I think we've got to like feel under pressure to make people laugh, but it's not about that. I think what we want to do is just give people an idea that actually laughing is super good for us. And I'm sure people know because it makes you feel good. But, just a few ideas of why it's good for us, what it does to our bodies. And just to remind people really that also not taking life too seriously, because this is something that I can be guilty of if I don't remember and remind myself about this tool. So it's a tool in my toolbox, in the Find Your Inner Sparkle toolbox, and it's there to remind me and to remind people that I work with not to take life too seriously. Because if you tend to be an overthinker, a people pleaser, a perfectionist, all of those personality traits like I've got, then this is one of the drawbacks of that you can then become a little bit defensive. The ego can kick in, if somebody makes a comment or looks at you the wrong way or criticizes or whatever, and laughing it off and finding that sense of humor in life. What if you make a mistake? Instead of being like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot, and getting all that negative self-talk, laughing about it. If someone else is laughing, laugh with them. It's what if you fall? Like, we just laugh it off. And instead of being like, oh my God, I feel so self-conscious, I look so silly, if you can just laugh, it changes the whole dynamic, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can think of a ream of different things, and I've just taken myself far too seriously. But these days it's like, oh, for goodness sake, life isn't worth that to stress over, to be fair. Lighten up.
I think there's a quote I should have got out by, it might be by Eckhart Tolle, and it's something like, life is nowhere near as serious as the mind makes it out to be.
Yeah.
Because the mind is always trying to protect us and trying to like stop us from looking silly or making a mistake, because then we might get hurt. And if we can learn to be like, honestly, there are people out there, aren't there, that just don't give a shit, and they just seem happier to me. I always aspire to be like them. Whenever I'm around somebody that just generally doesn't give a shit, I'm always like, oh, that must be so cool. Whereas I have to work at it and practice it. But if you're naturally like me, then it's worth thinking about. Laughter, when I've talked before about meditation and about, you talk about the foods we eat and about stress management, and all of these things have a positive effect on our immune system, which is fabulous. Laughter has a positive effect on our immune system. So that's why I have all the tools, because, one of these on its own, number one, it might be difficult to constantly do it. We can't walk around laughing all the time. We can't walk around. Yeah, and we cannot walk around like being Mother Teresa with our diet all the time. So if you sprinkle a few of these tools that we talk about on the podcast into your life, then it's going to have a positive effect. It's going to reduce stress hormones, and it's going to increase the immune response, which is brilliant. So it decreases things like the cortisol and the adrenaline, and that has that positive effect on our immune system, because those stress hormones are like, when we're in the fight or flight, we can't be like laughing our heads off and our belly's hurting and feel stressed like at the same time. So obviously the more laughter the more we can lighten up, take life less seriously, the better. our bodies release the like good hormones and chemicals that have a positive effect on our system, like endorphins, and we've all heard of them. We want more of them, less cortisol and more endorphins. Here's a stat: 1 minute of laughing burns the same number of calories as 6 to 10 minutes on a treadmill.
Right, then let's get started.
Like I don't know what speed that is, or whether you're on an incline. There might be some people that want to argue with that, but that's what this particular information that I found says, which is a good enough reason to laugh for me.
Yeah,
because that sounds better than being on a treadmill, you know, going to see a comedian.
Yeah, definitely.
So it raises your mood. Joyfulness through laughter is the fastest way to create a positive state of mind. Obviously, it's going to work way faster than all the affirmations that you can repeat. If you know, affirmations is another tool and it's a wonderful one, but if you just find something funny, then it's better for you than even using the affirmations. It's also good for the heart and the circulation, which makes sense, right? Because we're kind of gulping in air, like when we laugh, you know, and we get that we take in more air, so therefore more oxygen. And we work our tummy muscles, don't we? I mean, how often when you're having a really good laugh do you go, oh God, I've got a stitch, it's really hurting. So it pumps the blood around a little bit quicker, so it's good for that. It's a good boost for our circulation. And you know, last on this list says it feels good to laugh. Like it just does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if there's any very few times when it's not good to just have a good old belly laugh. Get it just makes your day feel better, flow easier.
I think the problem is it's not easy to do. And I've got probably a bit of a weird sense of humor, so it's like things that I might find funny, like some people find slapstick funny. So if you know, you've got people falling over or doing things that are really silly, I've never found that funny. I just find it really silly and stupid. And I just feel like, as a child, I'd just be like, do you know them Chuckle Brothers? To you. I just feel like, oh my God, and they do this every week, Mom, and it's boring. So like how you can see I've always been a bit more serious and stuff. But there are certain comedians and, you know, the kind of the real life comedy that's been around for ages now, and people like Peter Kay brought in. And the whole
I'm dying to say
bread.
Yeah, there you go.
And I like Mickey Flanagan, and you know, because there's some people that are really like crude and, you know, blue, that kind of thing. But I just like the type of people like Mickey Flanagan, Peter Kay. They give that light-heartedness on life. So the things that you're like, oh God, I do that, or you know, you might get your words wrong and say something that, and he'll say something that like his mum or his granny said, and like when my mum does it as well, I always think those kind of things just crack me up. One of the funniest things that I ever was, I mean, laughing my head off at was my husband, right? I'm just going to tell you this now, and it's going out there, isn't it? So I'm here now. I'm doing it. I'm in. He's a little bit afraid of like animals. Even he doesn't like picking up our cat. He just like he loves our dog. I mean, he's absolutely a dog person, but animals he's always been a bit funny with. And I was with my mom and him once years and years ago. I think it was before we had kids. I'm going back a while, but the deer that is it Dun and Massey in Cheshire where they kind of wander around, and you're not supposed to feed them, are you? I think they've got even stricter on it now. But I think we had an apple or something that we'd just eaten, so the reason you're not supposed to feed them, and then they come over and they might do things. But he was like, he'd got his apple or something, so this deer was interested, and he was in front and me and my mum were just behind. Well, we love animals, and if the deer came over and licked my hand or my face, I'd be in my absolute heaven. Whereas he was like, I'm just going to speed up a little bit, just not keen on the deer getting this close. Well, as he sped up, the deer started chasing him and like wanting to get the apple. And then he's kind of like starting to trot and he's running a little bit, and the deer, but the fact that it's a deer,
it's going to run faster than him.
No, I know, but it's not just that, it's the fact that it's a deer. Like, can you get lovelier, softer, more timid,
Yeah.
you know, the way that they jump. If he'd have just turned around and gone boo, it'd have been like, ah!
That's the direction.
And he's running from the deer, and I'm going, oh my God, he's running from Bambi. And me and my mum, we couldn't walk, and he was just like running, and the deer was running, and we were just like doubled over, tears streaming down my face, and my stomach was killing. But you can't kind of like create that kind of,
No.
you know, when
No.
you go like, oh, you have to be there when you tell a story. It's like that. It's just, that was brilliant. And even if me and my mum talk about it, we crack off in fits of laughter now. Just brilliant. Just so like that sense, that's my sense of humor. It's a little bit odd, but there you go.
Well, it's made me laugh.
But yeah, finding things that make you laugh is the thing, because we are not all the same. So you will know like your favorite comedians, or maybe it's a best friend, like maybe it's somebody that whenever you get together with that girlfriend or guy friend, that you know, you have a couple of glasses of prosecco or whatever it is, and then you just start bantering and just cracking off jokes and laughing, and it's just that'll do you good. So, you know, we've all come out of the pandemic, and sometimes people forget how important it is to build that social human connection and just tell stories and just have a laugh. You know, when I get together with my friends, we always end up laughing our head up about something.
Same here. And it is just that thing. Life isn't as serious as you think.
Yeah, the Eckhart Tolle quote, if I've got that right. Apologies to Eckhart Tolle or whoever wrote the quote if I've not. One of the other things to do is to smile more. So even if people are thinking, oh, well, I've not really got a comedian or somebody that really makes me laugh in terms of friendship groups, but we can smile. And even if it's not a genuine smile, it can still have that effect, you know, when you just turn up the corners of your mouth and grin, of like tricking the chemicals in the brain. So it, you know, there's things like laughter yoga and smile therapy, and you can do smile meditations, which, you know, you can just, you know, if you look that up, I've shared them in my group before. I've got one in my group somewhere under like midweek meditation that I share every Wednesday. But that's in the Find Your Inner Sparkle with Adele group. If you're not already in there, why are you not? Get yourself in there. And we share meditation every Wednesday. So smile meditation is a nice one, because you're doing it in the comfort of your own home. You're just kind of working through that, how it feels, and radiating, and it's all about letting that smile move all through your body. So it moves down your arms and down your legs, and it's like the whole body, visualizing the whole body smiling. It's just really nice to do. What else? So yeah, having a favorite comedian. Oh, like these days, I mean, I was thinking, what about TikTok? Because there are certain people on TikTok that I follow now that just make me laugh. You know, there's loads of people that are a bit like the modern day Peter Kays, aren't they? Because there's some people on TikTok. There's a woman, I think she's called Amy Jo Simpson. Shout out to Amy Jo Simpson. She's already got tons of followers, but she just does like really silly dances and, you know, skits on things, topical things that are going on at the minute. And she's just really funny. So people, like, just find people that you like, that float your boat, instead of following people that are maybe like moaning or portraying something that isn't going to make you feel good. And just do an audit of your social media on Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is. Follow people that make you feel good and that maybe do make you laugh.
Yeah, that's what social media should be about, to be fair. You know, connecting with people that are going to give you a good experience, that are going to lighten your load, basically.
Yeah, and we forget that sometimes, don't we? And we follow people that, and we're like, what? There's an unfollow button right there. Like, use it. It's amazing how many times people forget that. A couple more, then I think that will do for today. What about children? They are really funny, aren't they? Like, some of the things that they say, like some of the things I wish I'd have written down a lot of the things, especially my daughter. I just always say to her, you are so funny. And she's like, what do you mean? But some of the things she's come out with, it's just been hilarious. And, you know, they always say out of the mouths of babes, because they just tell it as it is. So it's like, it can be like, oh my God, you know, if you're out with them and when they're little and they just say something really loud about somebody and you're like, oh, but again, if you can just be like, you know what, sorry about that. They're just kids. They don't know.
It's just a child.
But some of the stuff, and when you go watching them in the little plays at school and things like that, you know, so if you've got a niece or a nephew you can borrow, or, you know, a friend's child, even if you don't have your own, or just those programs, you know, those things where kids say the funniest things and stuff like that. They are brilliant, really good. They're really good. When they're trying to like describe an object and stuff, and then the people are trying to guess what it is because of the kid describing it. It's just like hilarious. And then what about Get a Pet? Because again, my dog has given me some very interesting, funny moments. One of which I'm not sure we've managed to get Coffee into this podcast. It might be the first one.
Here we go. Come
on.
No,
It's it. I wasn't going to get it. Yeah, I wasn't going to get it in. This is about my dog when I first brought him home, and he was, it must have been on night 1 or 2, like the first couple of nights, and he wasn't using his crate properly. He wasn't toilet trained properly, and he'd done a number 2 in his crate, which then caused him to freak out and start running around and getting it everywhere. So my husband had come down because he could hear him like crying, and it's like a baby, he's brand new, he's crying, and then he was just like, he just shouted up the stairs, "Don't come down, get the bath running." And I was like, oh my God. So I'm running the bath, and then he brings the puppy up, this tiny puppy just flailing with, blah. And we're like, and then he's got to sort out the code red downstairs in the crate, because he's got to like get all that sorted and get it out in the garden or whatever he did with it, can't remember. And then I've got handed this flailing puppy, and then I'm like, I can't do this on my own because a slippery puppy in the bath full of bleep. And I'm like, then I'm shouting the kids, and it was, can't remember what time, it might have been midnight, you know, because he woke up. And I'm like, kids, pass me a towel. It was like, so it was like something off of like, you know, pass me this, pass me that, turn on the tap. It was just like all the family. It's like code red, code brown, code brown, code brown. I tell you what, if it's not Coffee that we're getting into these podcasts, it's Pooh. Like, I think that's it. If we're doing mind, mood, and food bingo, that's the second. I think that's our second favourite topic.
Yeah, maybe that should be another podcast, Coffee and Pooh.
Coffee and Pooh. This is what we should change it to in season 2, in year 2. It might just change it to Coffee and Pooh. I'll get people watching, listening. So yeah, I mean, I hope some of my embarrassing personal stories about my husband and my dog and blah 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 has caused somebody to at least smile today.
Well, at least
something
me.
else. Yeah, at least you. But yeah, get out there, do things, purposefully find ways of making yourself laugh because of all the benefits, and definitely just stop taking life yourself too seriously. Like, that situation could have been just awful and a massive stress and everyone like upset, but it's funny, isn't it? It's just it's happened, and it's just deal with it, but with a sense of humor.
Definitely, because crikey,
it's happening anyway.
It's going to happen anyway.
So you're not going to stop it.
You've got to deal with the shit, so you've
got to deal with the shit, and I think that's a wonderful note to end it on. Sorry, listeners, we're going to have to issue a explicit warning at the start of these podcasts. I think the swearing's gone up.
It's gone up each time. Thank you so much for that, Adele. That was very, very
amusing. Well, we cover some deep topics, don't we? And sometimes it's nice just to go with a bit of fun.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
I'd love to hear if anyone's got any funny stories as well that they can share with us. That would be brilliant.
Definitely share, and I'm sure we'll laugh at them with you.
Because you know what, it would be nice to get some like listeners writing in, and we could like read them out, you know, at the start of another podcast. We could do listener shout outs like Russell Brand does. He does listener shout outs, and he has a little pew, pew, pew. So if you want to be our first listener shout out, get on to us.
Get on it now. Brilliant. Well, thank you, and it's been a blooming really good podcast, that one. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you guys out there have enjoyed it too. Let us know about what you think about Adele's wonderful stories as well.
Let us know if it was TMI and you still can't handle it.
But yeah, have a fabulous fortnight, everyone, and we will see you next time for a brand new podcast. I'll see you later, Adele.